Hello, everyone, and welcome to the third part of my top 10 favorite horror movies of the 21st century. And this is the third part, which is basically my top 5. Let's not waste a moment and dive right in. Number 5, VHS 1 and 2. These two films, in my opinion, are greatly underrated. And, I really do love these two films a lot because, granted, I do personally think number two is better than one, but I think they just join together so well that I really do appreciate these films all around. These two films because they're just so uniquely well made, and granted, there's like it's like a speculation towards each other. Is like they're basically about a story of these two or three people going to a building and they find all these old, really weird VHS recordings. And basically, it's like they put them in and they watch them, and each of them is like, in each movie, like one and two have like either I think they both have like, actually I think the first had four, I believe, and the second one had five. Leave a comment down below, please, if you can correct me on that. If I got that wrong, I sincerely do apologize. But I love how well kept and how well focused these two are. And while I may forget the names of the shorts within the first movie, the one that stuck out to me within the first one was probably what was like this ritual like of sacrifice. I don't know. It's kind of I forgot. But the one that really stuck out to me was definitely my favorite of those shorts from both VHS 1 and 2 is probably Safe Haven, which is in number 2, and that's basically this like whole like Thai strange like religion focusing around this one man, and it's really unique. You really need to check it out. I'm just saying, if you are a fan of heart, if you aren't a faint of heart, why the hell are you even watching these videos? Granted, these videos aren't really for the faint of heart, but I'm saying these are films you gotta see if you're like a hardcore horror film lover who loves seeing grotesque, beautiful naked girls, who loves seeing these people freak out and swear a lot. If you love seeing a lot of gory and really messed up things that happen within these films, I'd highly recommend them. I'm just saying, if you are a faint of heart, these videos really aren't for you. I'm just saying. But VHS 1 and 2, in my opinion, are greatly underrated, and I really want to implore people who are very much into horror films, check these two films out. The third one is coming out, and I want to see it. But I've heard some people say it's disappointing. So I don't know, but I don't expect this one to top the first two because, in my opinion, they are two of the most greatly underrated films of the last 5 or 10 years. Number 4, The Conjuring. Well, let's go repeat myself. Number 4 is The Conjuring. What I really do like about The Conjuring, in my opinion, is that the fact that is not revolutionary, it isn't like a technological breakthrough or anything. It's like a very ordinary, simple, very poignant story of a haunted house with a backstory for itself. And I really do love how this film, how simple and yet how simple and yet so effective it is. It's like it does this is not anything technologically great or anything like that. But what it does so well is that it does a certain tradition within horror films all around, or a certain thing that they do within horror genre, and that is the caressment or the holding on essence of a spiritual like exorcism within the house, and it does it just in my opinion, with such a great premise and such a cleverly well done script, especially by James Wan, who I give a high praise for, who also did Insidious, which is on my 10 through 6 video. But what also what I love about The Conjuring is that I also love these performances by everyone, like Patrick Warburton, I believe it is, and all these other actors all bouncing off each other. Like I really, really believe everyone within this film, the family, the parents, the Ed and Lorraine Warren, even the kids who most times aren't that great in within horror films, but within this film, within The Conjuring, they are really freaking good, and I believed every single one of them. I really personally felt like a spiritual essence within each one of them. It's like I can relate with this character, I can relate with this character for a certain reason, this character for a certain reason, this character for a certain reason. I really, really like that. And the characters and the premise and just the whole essence of the film I found greatly enjoyable. And above all things, film is also shot beautifully. This is one of the most well-directed horror films within the last 10 years, I would definitely say. What can I say more? The Conjuring. It's practical and yet very, very effective. It's simplicity done right. Well, everyone, we're here. We're here at the end of our top 3. Let's get into it. Number 3, The Cabin in the Woods. Yeah, we all know. We all know how great in 2012, how friggin' great The Cabin in the Woods truly was. It was just such a clever premise for itself. It's like, the traditional haunted cabin in the woods feel for itself. Like, it's Friday the 13th. It's cabin fever, basically. It's Evil Dead. It has all those simple premises that people are going to the cabin inside the woods, of course. But the way they approach it, and within a certain angle, and a certain writing, and a certain directing they had for it, was something truly mind-blowingly great. And which lent itself, in my opinion, to be one of the best films of the year. The cast was great. It's like, you see, I forgot the main girl's name. The actor's name. You see, gosh, I forgot Richard Jenkins. That's his name, Richard Jenkins. And he's also really, really good in this film. I really do like his acting. He's really a unique performance within this film. And of course, you see Thor from the Avengers in this film. And I think all these people play these certain cliches, like the party, like the slut party type of girl, the stoner, the jock, the nerd, the virgin, and they would all kind of like represent their own cliches, but they were thinking about things all these other cliches never would have in the first place. And above all things, they went in certain directions and they would question certain motives, and it's like they're taking chances and they're thinking outside the box for once. And granted, horror films have done it before, but not in this certain direction and angle towards a cabin in the woods feel for itself. I need to calm down. But what I also really loved about Cabin in the Woods is that writing and the angle of truly something I can't spoil within this video, because it's a movie you truly have to see to believe. And if you are a hardcore fan of horror films, then basically the last 45 minutes of this film is every horror fan's delight. And I will truly say it's truly one of the best surprises I've seen in a long time of film. And let me tell you, it's one of my favorites, for a good reason. Number 2, Dawn of the Dead. If you don't, this film was made in 2004, and it was a remake of the 1970s or 1978, if I'm accurate. Please tell me down below if I got that wrong again. I apologize. Man, holy hell, holy man! I really fucking love this film. I can literally watch this movie every day. I don't know what it is, but it's like it has a feel like whenever I watch this film, it brings me back to the year when I saw it. It was granted, it was made 2004, and I didn't see it that year, but I remember the time when I first saw it with my friends, and I was truly just blown away by this film. I love the cast. Like everyone in this movie is great. Like you see the pushover, you see the jaw, you see like all these certain horror character cliches. I apologize for stumbling over my words there, but you see all these type of normal type of character cliches you see in this film, but the performances and the way they progress and bounce off each other is, in my opinion, just so interesting to watch because you see Sarah Polley, you see Ving Rhames, you see oh man, I forgot his name, but no, I'm not gonna search it up. But this whole cast is just so good to watch, and I just love the shots they have within the mall in the film. Like, I just think they're just spectacular to watch, and I think the director Zack Snyder he truly knew how to build this, how this world can truly come to be, and how you can just simply accept how you would feel within this world. How would you react? How would you respond? It really brings that question of how would you survive within this world, not just within this certain environment like within a mall, but how would you overall react and how would you overall handle it? Like some of these characters say, it doesn't matter, I'll screw over anyone to survive. But others will be like, no, we have to survive off each other to truly survive because we need resources, we need help. And I like that. It's like no one's wrong. It's just a simple different views and how they are brought upon by every of all these characters. And my personal favorite character is definitely Ving Rhames' character. Like he's such a badass in this film. He really is. He's just such a badass. And this like he just had this no nonsense. It's like he had this no nonsense, like take no bullshit. He's like a really like badass type of guy. And in my opinion, it's like one of the most surprisingly well done horror remakes of all time, in my opinion. And I just think it's just extraordinarily well done with great acting, great writing, great use of practical effects, and above all things, a wonderful horror film and a wonderful film altogether, which in my opinion was one of the most surprising of the decade. And now we've come to it. My number one. And what will it be? It is, let's all say together, everyone, Shaun of the Dead. One moment. Oh my god. How can anyone not love these movies? Okay, not just these two, but mainly Shaun of the Dead. Because it's not just the characters. It's not just the writing. It's not just the jokes. But the way it approaches the subject matter. The angle, the view, and all around the acceptance of what has happened within the film just feels so familiar. And the characters are wonderful. Like, Sean and Ed and all these other characters they have are just amazingly great to watch. I loved seeing his girlfriend and her friends and the mother and the father-in-law. Like, all the performances in this movies are just amazing. The jokes are too many to count, and oh my god, it's like 100. That's all of them work. There's not a dull moment within the film. Like, I love every second of this film. I really, really do. The characters just seem so well fleshed out, and I loved how brilliantly well written they were. And above all things, I really, really wish more horror films, a lot more like this one, where you don't take such a serious subjectical. I apologize for the way I said that. For the way I said that. The way it approaches it, and both a very unique horror type of feeling for itself, and the angle it goes for it, but not just for that. But I love how it plays into the way of a comedy. By the end, you can say, we survived. And for that, we can laugh at that day. Because if we can survive that, we can survive anything. And it shows how you go through the worst, and how you progress through that, and how you learn through that, and how you grow from that. But I also love these characters of who they are and what they symbolize. Like, both Sean and Ed. It's like they push their childhood things aside, they man up, they grow up, and they take some damn responsibility and maturity. And especially for me, around my age right now, because I'm 20 years old, this is a time in my life where I feel like I'm truly noticing that, and I'm embracing my silliness, my cool, like all that type of stuff from my past. But it shows to me how I can still grow, how I can still learn, and above all things, how I can always be a child at heart, but also an adult at mind. And I don't think a film can have a better and finer message for itself. What can I say? Shaun of the Dead isn't just my favorite film of the decade. I mean, not my favorite film. It's my favorite horror film of the decade, but also it's probably my top 5 or 3 favorite horror films of all time. Or heck, I can even say it's probably my top 30 favorite films of all time. Well, actually, all 3 of these films are my top 30 of all time. Above all things, I can't even explain. I can't even say how much I love Shaun of the Dead. In my opinion, I really personally cannot stress enough how much I love Shaun of the Dead. My favorite horror movie of the last 14 years. And everyone, thank you for watching my favorite movies of the 21st Century Trilogy. I hope you enjoyed these 3 videos I made for you guys, and stick around to see more reviews of TV shows, video games, and movie reviews in the future. Thank you for watching, happy Halloween, and above all things, stay scared and stay strong. Here's to the memories.